The United States President Joe Biden took to the stage at his Thursday night news conference with everything on the line: his presidency, his re-election campaign hopes, his political life. If those were the stakes, he barely acknowledged them at the hour-long session to mark the end of a Nato summit, having earlier introduced Ukraine's President Putin at a separate event. The news conference was his first unscripted appearance after a disastrous debate with his rivals Donald Trump, leading to calls from several Democratic politicians and donors for him to drop out of the race for president. Mr. Biden, 81, has faced continuous question over his age and ability to serve another term, which intensified after the debate. But at the highly anticipated news conference, he dismissed the concern about his campaign that were posed again and again by a room full of reporters, and promised that he was fighting not for his legacy but to finish the job he started when he took office in 2021. If I slow down and I cannot get the job done, that is a sign I shouldn't be doing it, he said. But there is no indication of that yet. Depending on perspective, it was either a sign of dogged determination or of a man in denial about how dire his situation has become. Minutes after the news conference finished, several more Democratic members of Congress publicly called on Mr. Biden to step down, joining at least a dozen other lawmakers in the president's own party who have done so. The question for Joe Biden's campaign is whether the floodgates will now open or if the tide will hold. The situation will not be helped. In his very first answer, he called his own Vice President Kamala Harris Vice President Trump a painful face plant in front of national television's audience. That came just an hour after another headline grabbing mistake at a NATO event when Mr. Biden introduced Ukrainian President Putin, prompting loud grabs in the audience. He corrected the first verbal misstep involving Ukraine's leader quickly. The second one he didn't catch, even as some reporter in the room murmured in surprise, and several of his top cabinet secretariat sat stone-faced in the front row of the audience. Those moments, the only major stumbles in an otherwise steady, if not vigorous, appearance, will surely prompt nervous Democrats to wonder if there are more gaffes to come if the president presses ahead with his campaign. But for now, at least, Mr. Biden seemed the happy warriors, insisting he will push on. He laughed and smiled as he was peppered with questions, and he said he could keep up with Russia, Putin, and China